In the 21st century, overpopulation becomes a massive issue, leading humanity to devise a plan to colonize Mars. However, since Mars isn't yet livable for humans, they first must terraform it. They begin this process by sending moss and simpler organisms like cockroaches. Fast forward to 2597, where criminals Komachi and Nanao are frantically fleeing through the streets of Tokyo with the police hot on their heels. After a few failed attempts to evade capture, they find themselves cornered by the authorities. At that moment, a flying car arrives, and out steps Dr. Honda, who's engrossed in a presentation discussing the need to eradicate the roaches on Mars before humans can settle. His assistant mentions Komachi and Nanao's murder charges, making them ideal candidates for the risky mission. Honda approaches the pair and offers them a deal. In exchange for cleaning Mars of cockroaches, their crimes will be erased and they'll be handsomely rewarded. However, the mission comes with a catch. They must undergo a dangerous surgery first. Komachi is hesitant, but Nanao accepts without question, prompting Komachi to follow her. 2 years later, the couple is aboard the spaceship Bugs 2, along with a motley crew heading for Mars. Jin, an energetic fighter, challenges Komachi to a sparring match, ending in a tie. Despite this, Jin claims he held back. He then tries flirting with Nanao, but she rebuffs him, stating Komachi gave her freedom. Ichiro scoffs at this idea, while Lee eats bugs in the background. Meanwhile, Tezuka creepily approaches a sleeping Maria and sucks on her hand, startling her. As the women walk by, Toramaru and Yoshikane ogle them, which prompts Asuka to call them out. Nanao starts noticing something about the crew. Toramaru and Yoshikane are yakuza. Asuka's a crooked cop, Tezuka's a serial killer. Maria's an undocumented immigrant. Osako exploits minors. Ichiro's a hacker, and Lee's a terrorist. She wonders if Honda only recruits criminals, but Jin, a kickboxer, suggests they were chosen because they all desperately need money. Just then, Captain Dojima and Lieutenant Mina call the crew to their stations as they approach Mars. The landing goes smoothly, and Mars now resembles Earth thanks to successful terraforming. Mina releases a chemical to exterminate the cockroaches, and Dojima sends the crew to verify its effectiveness. When Asuka is paired with Yoshikane, she protests, refusing to work with a yakuza. Dojima changes her partner to Ichiro to avoid conflict. Meanwhile, Dojima's drone locates Bugs 1, a hidden probe sent to Mars by Japan 10 years earlier. Dojima reports their progress to Honda, who's thrilled because if the mission succeeds, he'll have the means to control the world. As the crew explores, Jin and Maria are startled to encounter 3 humanoid creatures carrying clubs. Komachi and Nanao also encounter one of these creatures, but before Komachi can communicate, it attacks and kills Nanao. Devastated, Komachi watches as the creature flees. Jin arrives to report that the creatures also killed Asuka. The crew regroups on the ship, leaving Nanao's body in the medical bay. They confront Dojima, who reveals that these creatures are the cockroaches they sent to Mars 500 years ago, now evolved into stronger beings, dubbed terraformers. The crew feels betrayed, but Honda appears as a hologram, reminding them that they volunteered for money and underwent surgery not only to survive on Mars, but to enhance their abilities. The surgery infused their DNA with bug genes, granting them powers to fight the terraformers. Dojima explains that their powers are activated through injections of a special cell activator, which causes a temporary mutation. Overuse, however, can be fatal. The crew reluctantly prepares for battle. Lee volunteers to fight first, transforming into a bombardier beetle, but despite his powers, he's quickly overpowered and killed by the terraformers. Back on the ship, Dojima injects himself with the DNA of a Paraponera ant, gaining immense strength and deadly stings. He kills one terraformer, but the ship detects a swarm of roaches approaching. Dojima devises a plan: lure the terraformers away, while the crew retrieves parts from Bugs 1 to repair their ship. As they set off, Tezuka transforms into a rove beetle and clears a path through the roaches with gas projectiles. On the ship, Dojima and Ichiro fend off more roaches, but as oxygen runs out, they lose consciousness. Meanwhile, in the rover, the team encounters a massive wave of terraformers. Tezuka, Osako, and Maria transform to shield the rover, but after narrowly escaping, the vehicle crashes, leaving the trio to be killed by the roaches. The surviving crew reaches Bugs 1, only to discover the terraformers are using weapons from the probe. Komachi injects himself with Hornet DNA, and alongside Jin and Mina, fights off the roaches. After defeating them, they discover a mysterious pyramid, but before they can investigate further, a roach communicates with Honda, revealing a deeper conspiracy. Inside the ship, Dojima confronts a mutated Asuka, who has been controlling the terraformers. It turns out both she and Ichiro have been working for Honda. As the chaos unfolds, the terraformers evolve further, making the crew's situation more dire. As the battle rages, Nanao, now transformed into a silkworm moth, sacrifices herself in a massive explosion to save the crew. With the terraformers weakened, Komachi and Ichiro make a truce and escape to Earth. Meanwhile, Honda, still scheming, is betrayed by his assistant, but survives using advanced technology. Back on the ship, Ichiro broadcasts the truth about the mission to the world, while Komachi vows to return to Mars. The crew's sacrifice will not be forgotten. Make sure to subscribe and hit the notification bell for more videos like this. Thanks for watching.